$1,000, O.Henry. $1,000, said the lawyer Tolman, solemnly and severely. And here is the money. It's such an unusual amount, young Gillian explained genially to the lawyer. You heard the reading of your uncle's will, continued lawyer Tolman. I do not know if you paid much attention to its details. You are required to render to us an account of this $1,000 as soon as you have spent it. I trust that you will obey the wishes of your late uncle. You may depend upon it, said the young man politely. I may have to engage a secretary. I was never good at accounts. Gillian went to his club to meet old Bryson. He was a calm, antisocial man, about 40 years old. As he saw Gillian approaching, he sighed, laid down his book, and took off his glasses. Gillian said, I've just come from a meeting with my late uncle's lawyers. He leaves me an even $1,000. Now, what can a man possibly do with $1,000? Old Bryson showed very little interest. I thought the late Septimus Gillian was worth something like $500,000. He was, agreed Gillian, and that's where the joke comes in. He had left a lot of his money to an organism. That is, part of it goes to the man who invents a new bacillus, and the rest to establish a hospital for doing away with it again. There are 1 or 2 small, unimportant gifts on the side. The butler and the housekeeper get a seal ring and $10 each. His nephew gets $1,000. Were there any others mentioned in your uncle's will? Asked old Bryson. There is a Miss Hayden. My uncle was responsible for her. She lived in his house. I forgot to say that she got the ring and $10 too. Now tell me what a man can do with $1,000. Old Bryson rubbed his glasses and smiled. There are many good things a man could do with $1,000, said Bryson. But you can buy Miss Lotta Laurier a diamond necklace with the money and then take yourself off to Idaho to a sheep ranch. I wanted to spend the money on one thing because I have to turn in a report for it and I hate itemizing, said Gillian. Gillian took a cab to the Columbine Theatre where Miss Lotta Laurier was performing. Gillian offered to buy her a pendant worth $1,000, but she paid little attention to him. She added that a necklace at Tiffany's cost much more. Not very impressed with her response, Gillian departed and took the cab again. 8 blocks down Broadway, Gillian got out of the cab. There, he asked a blind pencil dealer, What would you do if you had $1,000? The dealer showed him his bank deposit book. It showed a balance of $1,785. Gillian took the cab to the law offices of Tolman and Sharp. Lawyer Tolman looked at Gillian in a hostile and questioning way. I beg your pardon, said Gillian cheerfully, but was Miss Hayden left anything by my uncle's will in addition to the ring and the $10? Nothing, said Mr. Tolman. So Gillian visited Miss Hayden at his late uncle's house, where she was writing letters in the library. She was small and slender and clothed in black. I have just come from old Tolman's, he explained. He lied and said, There was an amendment in the will. It seemed that my uncle had second thoughts and willed you $1,000. Tolman asked me to bring you the money. Here it is. Miss Hayden turned white. He borrowed a pen and paper and wrote out an account of his expenditure for the $1,000 and returned to the offices of Tolman and Sharp. I have expended the $1,000 and have come to render the account of it, he said cheerily to Tolman. He tossed the envelope on the lawyer's table. Mr. Tolman called his partner, Sharp. They searched for something in a large safe. They brought out a big sealed envelope. Mr. Tolman revealed to Gillian that there was a secret stipulation in his uncle's will. He stated, If you have spent his inheritance in a sensible, wise, or unselfish way, it is in our power to give you bonds to the value of $50,000. But If you have used this money in a wasteful, foolish way as you have done in the past, the $50,000 is to be paid to Miriam Hayden, ward of the late Mr. Gillian, without delay. Now, Mr. Sharp and I will examine your report of the $1,000. Mr. Tolman reached for the envelope, but Gillian snatched it back and shredded it. He claimed he lost the $1,000 on the races and walked out of the office, whistling a happy tune.